It's time now to check in with Diane Jordan. Diane is with us every week at this time. It is More Comfort Mondays. And Diane, your report, as always at this time, I do want to mention that Diane is the owner of Natural Body Works in Kingston. And our Monday segment is all about how to create more comfort in your body, your mind, and your soul. Diane, good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, so this week's topic is October. We were just talking about October. It doesn't feel like it, though, does it? October is Spirit Month, spirit lifting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's this all about?
All right, so I'm sharing an interesting and rare phenomenon which has happened occasionally over the years during reflexology sessions. So, and it just happened last week again, so it's perfect time to talk about it. All right. I'm a spirit channel, we know that. So when a client comes in for reflexology, hypnosis, spirit guidance, and energy work, I always begin with asking them to give their spiritual support permission to work with them through the session. So with a new client, we usually talk about what spiritual support, what that means, right? And then I explain that it means whoever they feel connected to. Mm-hmm. Okay, so God, source, pets, loved ones in spirit, whatever. And sometimes a client, will say that they believe in God or angels or loved ones in spirit, or whatever, but they, at the same time, though, they don't think that spirit will kind of bother with them, and it's always because they have some deep self-judgment, and they feel unworthy of receiving help from spiritual support.
Okay.
So we talk about that. And then I may guide them, usually I do, guide them through a self-healing technique prior to their actual session. So occasionally spirit creates this phenomenon of the client's arm levitating. This has happened,
wow.
I'm going to say 3 times, but it's happened quite a few times over the years. So this is while I'm at their feet doing reflexology and energy work. And it's always been with clients who have that sense of, I don't, deserve to get help, right? So the first time I was blown away, but most importantly, the client can't deny what they felt. So it literally changes them,
Wow.
Right. So this first one, this was a 36-year-old with a good marriage, kids, lots of childhood abuse.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they came to me after being released from the hospital after a suicide attempt.
Okay.
So they had a ton of guilt and self-recrimination, 100% sure they did not deserve help from God. It was their thing, right?
Okay.
So they were on the table for reflexology with their arms straight out by their side. And then after a little while, both arms would just float up like 12 inches over the table, straight up like they're lying on the table still, but they're like 12 inches in the air, and then just stay like that through the whole session.
All right.
And every session for many months that they came to me. And then the other one was an 83-year-old widow. So she was devastated with grief from her husband had passed. Mm-hmm. She felt really guilty for not being able to cook and take care of her many children and grandchildren. Her arms would float straight up, fingers pointing at the ceiling, and straight, and stay that way for a full hour. And that's not possible. Like you couldn't do that, especially like, it's not an older person couldn't. And then one of the times her hands kind of like were moving, and she told me that she was touching her husband's face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was every month for over a year when she came to me. That would happen. And then last week, a client who's dealing with caring for a really sick spouse, in our talk, they expressed not feeling worthy of spirit because of things from their past. So we didn't even get into that. We never really need to. I just guide them through a self-love, self-healing technique. In this client, on the table for reflexology, so they had first one arm like floating and moving, and then that would kind of float down, and then the other arm would, and it kept going back and forth through the whole session. So they told me afterwards that they could feel their arms being gently held and moved.
Really? Okay.
And they texted me yesterday and said, I'm feeling so good. I feel loved and positive, and I'm still in awe that my spirit's hands lifting my arms up is what they said. So it's amazing when it happens. I can't even describe like how amazing it is. I haven't
Well,
like
yeah,
tried to figure it out.
I feel like there's
It's-
no way you can describe it. For people listening this morning, it's hard to even imagine what
Right.
that's like, I guess, until it happens to you.
Yeah. Like I said, the first time it happened, I was blown away.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, she's putting her arms up. Like, well, why isn't she putting them down?
Yeah.
After a while,
Yeah,
like,
what's
how is
going
she
on?
keeping her arms like that? And then, but she was like the first one. The first one was the first one I talked about. Was a long time ago. She was just out. She was in a trance, completely gone. Like, with
Wow.
reflexology, people just go in a trance, like they're gone.
Wow.
And so they're not talking, and
Yeah.
and after a while, it's just obvious the person's not holding their arms up because nobody could do that,
Yeah.
for an hour like that.
Wow. Well, that's pretty amazing. Okay. Well, Diane would like everyone to know, no matter what a person has been through now or in the past, their spiritual support is always available to help. And Diane is honored when she can facilitate that connection. So please feel free to reach out and set up a free phone consult to answer any questions you have. You can call or text Diane at Natural Body Works. I'll give you the number. It's 781-585-5130. That's 781-585-5130. And please tune in next week for another More Comfort Monday. This week's topic, again, we've been talking about October is Spirit Month, Spirit Lifting. Diane, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful, more comfortable week.
You as well. That's More Comfort Monday with Diane Jordan in studio on 95.9 WATD.